Thank you for staying with TVC Breakfast. The Ondo State House of Assembly has now resolved to uphold the peace agreement brokered by President Bola Tinubu to maintain the status quo in the governance of the state. Recall that last week, President Bola Tinubu met with representatives of the Ondo State House of Assembly to discuss the political crisis in the state, and he said peace must remain there. The Ondo State House of Assembly has now called on the Deputy Governor, Mr. Lucky Ayedatiwa, to comply with the resolution reached with the President and write an undated resignation letter. You'd also recall that Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has since returned from a 3-month medical treatment abroad. He is in Ondo State at the moment, and he has been governing so to speak, from then, but that hasn't stopped the controversies regarding the state of governance in Ondo State, and that's what we will be discussing now. We bring in via Zoom from the U.S. Medical doctor. He's also the convener of the Social Rehabilitation Grace and Support Initiative, Oludare Marindoti. Thank you very much for joining us again on TVC Breakfast.
Thanks, Cam, for having me. Thanks, everybody, for those at home watching.
Absolutely. Good to see you indeed. All right, so let's talk about this crisis in Ondo State. Where do you stand? The fact that the president even intervened and the clarity, or so to speak, it doesn't appear that the dust has settled, because there is one faction saying this is what the president said, this is what was agreed. There's also another faction who is saying otherwise, especially now with this issue of the controversial unsigned or undated but signed resignation letter of the deputy governor.
Thanks for that question. I think this in political imbroglio in my state is an eyesore. I am deeply embarrassed by it. The president has serious businesses to attend to. We have the removal of fuel subsidy, the exchange rates that he's trying to treat. He's trying to present his budget so that his attention had to be distracted away from this very salient, needs to go and address a problem in Ondo State by some, what I would call badly behaving adults, is something that I think should not happen. I mean, it's like a bunch of secondary school students who have to be called to the principal's office to get a talking to. This should not be happening. We should be more civil than this. I mean, we have another Ondo State indigene who was my senior prefect in secondary school, who I'm very proud of, Olubumi Ojo. He is performing. That is the standards that should be set by our leaders. The reason, I mean, it's like they do not care about the people. We have we are just talking on this show right now about the president presenting his budget for 2024. When is the budget for Ondo State going to be presented? Governor Soluto did his own last week. Instead of talking about salient things, the subsidy has been removed. There's definitely the shock effect in the economy. We have the issue of the foreign exchange that has been floated. The people are going through dire straits, which is, the way to go until you get to the crescendo. We are at the cusp of the renewed hope agenda being materialized. Where are these people, advocating for things that will benefit Ondo State? Yoruba people will say, "To bang big." If there's a problem, you need to join them to carry it so that they don't put the burden at your doorstep. But if we have an executive that is MIA, how do we advocate for the people of Ondo State? That is what I'm mostly concerned about. The people of Ondo State are good people. They are smart people, and I believe they deserve a better, crop of leadership. Really, this does not serve the people it does not do them any benefits. What is the opportunity cost of this, or the missed opportunity cost of this, unnecessary quagmire that they are causing? We can think about education, health. We are talking about doctors running away. My father is unable to find doctors to stay in his hospital. He's almost 70. That is a problem. The education, the same secondary school, the same primary school that my mother went, my cousin went there in our village, could not read ABC as an 11-year-old. These are serious, salient issues that the state executive council and the House of Assembly should be trying to address. not having to disturb an elder statesman like Baba Fashion. That man is a sage, is the conscience of the state. When I was in Ondo State in July, I met Baba. Baba gave me his 2 kobo, laid his hand on my head, and prayed for me. That is what Baba should be doing right now, not trying to settle problems amongst politicians. He should be giving his 2 cents. Baba is 97. Jimmy Carter is 99. They're about the same age. You don't see Americans going to meet him to help them settle, problems among them. I think our politicians just need to grow the heck up. They need to grow up and behave in a civil way. The state needs leadership. It is that simple. And I can, if I still have time, just give 2 reasons why I think this group of politicians are behaving like this, and why I think politicians just behave like this in general. And for these Ondo State politicians, I think they are just trying to play into the next year election politics. That's what I think they are trying to do. They are assuming that because Ondo State supported President Tinubu with 70% of the vote, that means it is an automatic win for Ondo State next year. And what they don't know is that Ondo State is the most independently voting state in this country. You can look at the history. Ondo State voted for Atiku in 2019, then voted Akeredolu the next year. We have done it several times. So if the APC in Ondo State does not get its act right, they are going to lose the state.
Okay.
Because Ondo State will always they will woju ibo. So we need
You need to translate that for the benefit of our non-Yoruba speaking audience.
Sorry, so those people will look at the soup to see if it's delicious before they pick their pounded yam to dip in it. And so they will look at the ballots before they vote for someone.
Okay.
That is why Ondo State has independently voted in its history, because the people are very intelligent, they are smart, and they deserve better than this quality of leadership than that they are getting. I mean, we need to think about the people. We need to be people-centric.
Okay, so suddenly you have gotten me hungry with the talk about pounded yam and soup, but it's okay. All right, so looking at all of this now, you harped basically on the issues of leadership. And would you think, or would you believe, or would you do you think that the deputy governor should have provided that needed leadership despite the health concerns of the governor, and all of this infighting would have been totally unnecessary?
Well, to me, I think partially the deputy governor acted like Hamlet on the Ala River, because it is all about the people. The people need leadership. I'll give an example. When President Tinubu was interviewed in 2009 by a university in New Jersey, he said, when they asked him how did he get political support for some of the things he did when the president was opposing him, he said, I explained to the people that could understand, and I took my case to the people. The deputy governor can take his case to the people. The people need leadership. There was disbursement of palliatives in Ondo State. I think last week there was some hoodlums beat up the commissioner for Osopadek for bursary disbursement. I think was it not like in September when they beat the ward chairman beat up the commissioner. These are things that the state people don't want. They need someone who will be ready to take the bull by the horn, to take the mantle of leadership and lead and let the people know if the governor is in Nigeria right now, not in Germany. If the governor is able to dissipate his duties, because we have to remember, politics is about giving, not taking. It is what you leave behind, not what you live with. So if the governor is able to dissipate his duties, he should be in Ondo State administering the affairs of the state. The Ondo State governor is not Orisha Onlebo, and the Ondo State government house is not Oyeidile. So the people need their leader to be available for them. And nobody is saying
we have seen situations like this in the past, and they have said that the president, you understand what I'm talking about, or the president can rule from anywhere. Is it not the same situation here in Ondo State?
It is okay. Will the president or the governor, come and present the budget in person to the National Assembly like President Bola Tinubu did, yesterday? I mean, we can all remember the undue, unnecessary noise that was made about the president's health during the campaign. I was one of the people on social media and all over escalating this man that didn't know anything about the way they were making fun of the president. Can you tell me one president in the history of Nigeria that has been as active as President Bola Tinubu, that has done so much? I get tired just following the man's activities, following the places he's traveling to, because he's actively working. That is someone who is apt. That is someone who can deliver and dissipate the duties of his job. Not when you are in another state. Ibadan is just 2 hours. I used to drive it all the time. It's just 2 hours away from Ondo State. So you can come to the state, but I'm not trying to put pressure on the governor to actually come to the state, because when it comes to public office, the one time that you are allowed to be selfish is when it comes to your personal well-being, your personal health. I think the governor needs to prioritize himself. Shakespeare said this in Hamlet when Polonius was talking to his son Learches, that this above all, to thy own self be true. Governor Akeredolu needs to be true to himself. If anybody is telling him he has power, they are fighting for him, I don't believe they are being honest with him. If Dangote was stuck on a desolate island with all his billions, it would be useless, because all he will need is a bowl of soup. The man with a bowl of soup is going to be richer than him. So the question for Governor Akeredolu is, what is the use of a power you can't use? Don't let people use you. I mean, if it was my father, I would be protecting him from all these unnecessary distractions. I would not want anybody that would discuss anything that is different from what will make him stronger and better. We hope he is recovering. And I'm a doctor, so I have been through this journey with a lot of patients. It is a difficult one. They need compassion. They need time. They need to take care of themselves. He is fighting the biggest battle in his life. He was the NBA chairman or president. President. He was he ran for an election and lost. He ran twice and won. But this battle that he's fighting right now is the biggest in his life. So if I was his family member, I will show him the love that he deserves. If I was his son, I would be by his bedside, trying to squeeze every single time and spend it with him, not distract him about, with the burdens of Ondo State. You have to show love to the man. The man deserves love, not to be used as a tool or an avenue to access power by some people who think that will. This is what they are thinking. They think if they give the power to the deputy governor, then he is going to be able to control the primary, and they are trying to, get the ticket. That is the thing that I think they are doing, and it does not follow. It does not follow. And this is one thing, maybe just by the side. That's why I feel like they need to also look at the delegate economy and cancel it. Let all card-carrying members of a political party vote in the primaries. But, that aside, I feel like the governor of Ondo State needs to take care of himself. He needs to take all the time he needs to take care of himself. He will be the governor. By the time he's coming back to Ondo State, we pray he does. If it, albeit after his own tenure or during his tenure, it will be a triumphant entry, because the Ondo State people are kind people, they are nice people, they support their governor. But guess what? The show must go on. The show must go on. Yeah. We cannot upend the future of the children that are living in Ondo State right now because someone is indisposed. The show must go on. It is for all of us. So that is why I want the governor to look into him in his own heart. I want his family to support him, to show him the love he deserves, and prevent him and protect him from this unnecessary distraction. I want the governor to focus all of his energy into getting better, because that is what he needs. He does not need the power of the governor right now. The most important thing to him is his health. This is a doctor's advice. You should focus, get away your every distraction, focus on getting better.
And of course, you've also, tried to balance up your analysis of the situation while insisting, in line with your medical inclinations, that the governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, needs all the medical attention that he can get so that he can get back on his feet stronger than ever before. But then there is a state that needs to be governed. And as it is now, the deputy governor who was acting during the absence of Governor Akeredolu has now returned, so to speak, to the position of deputy governor. We understand that he's now back in the state after a period of absence and will chair the state's executive council today. But the intervention, so to speak, of the House of Assembly under the leadership of the Speaker, Oladiji, is also raising some measure of eyebrows. Some people are accusing the Speaker of twisting the resolutions reached when the President met with, the stakeholders of the state. I wonder what you make of it, because come to think of it, what is the sense in demanding for an undated, signed letter of resignation if the deputy governor remains a deputy governor and isn't the acting governor? I wonder what you make of these dynamics. Can you help, give us some sense to it?
Yes, the president is a very savvy man. He's probably the smartest man I've ever read about. He wouldn't say that. What these people are trying to do, I believe, is sneaking their own need under the guise of a resolution that they made with the president. The president will not demand someone to sign an undated resignation letter. I mean, what is the meaning of that? I don't believe it. I believe they are twisting the word of the president. I mean, today, was it not today or yesterday or 2 days ago that they released states caretaker for the local governments and all
Absolutely.
of that? I believe, yes, I believe they are just trying to pull a fast one on everybody. The deputy governor should be the acting governor. I think it is almost as clear as day right now that Governor Akeredolu still needs more time to, get better and stronger. And we are with him and we support him. But the show must go on. Somebody needs to present the budget for next year. I mean, budget takes a lot of planning. Can these people say they have been planning for the budget when the state executive, council have not even met for about 3 months? I mean, you can see the amount of details, salient details that President Tinubu presented during his presentation of budget. You know that a lot of smart people have thought about it. I mean, can I give a few suggestions of what they can be thinking about instead of all this problem? Because I believe it is in part their oral fixation and inability to know how to find a productive use of their time. That is why they are engaged in this fight. We are at the cusp of a renewed hope. The economy of Ondo State needs to grow, needs to do better. They can be thinking of how to link Ondo State to Lagos State through the eastward corridor. If you think about it, the distance between Lekki Free Trade Zone and Victoria Island is the same as the distance between Lekki Free Trade Zone and places like Igbokoda, almost the same. So we can think about growing Ondo State that way by creating a road corridor that exposes the southern part of Ondo State to Lagos State, and then there will be a contiguous spread of growth. These are the things that we need to focus on, not on undue, unnecessary power tussle. Okay. It is unnecessary. They can focus on education, they can focus on health, they can focus on things that the people who have sent them to office, what they need. There are palliatives that needed to be intelligently disbursed and used to, assuage this hardship the people are going to face, that they are facing right now. They can be talking about all of this, but none of this is being discussed. The people are, quite frankly, non-existent to them. They are unimportant. Their needs don't exist. The only thing they think about is their own infantile obsession with power. They want power, and then they are just, it is just, to me, shameful. Please, BTO, Odumitujo Jojo is an Ondo State NDJ. That is the example of Ondo State people, not what you are saying. I want all Nigerians to please know that.
Okay, so looking at all of this now, you talked about the fact that the deputy governor should be given acting governor status. But in the light of all of these issues, don't you think that there will be trust issues? And that's probably what has led to the stalling of conferring on him the powers of the governor.
What trust? What trust? Trust in what? If the governor becomes able today, there is nothing the deputy governor can do If the governor comes to Ondo State today, that is it. It is the end. The deputy governor cannot say, I want to hold on to power for not even when the House of Assembly is not even in support of
But a
him or the
lot,
cabinet.
but the mindset of the leadership might be that he would have done a lot of damage before the governor comes in.
There is no damage that he can do. The executive power is not absolute. The House of Assembly can checkmate him. The mind needs to be in the right place for the head to be in the right space. I don't think their mind is in the right place. That's why they are thinking what damage is he saying he wants to do, other than for the administration of the state to just go on. There is no damage. They are just trying to their game is this whole appointment of caretaker doing this. It is just for there is no what damage will it do to the people? I mean, it is a no-brainer. There's no damage that the vice deputy governor can do. He just needs to be there as the constitution has given and hold on to the power and let the wheels of the state keep on moving. And then when the governor is ready, I mean, even while the deputy governor is acting governor, if he is doing something and the governor feels he does not approve of it, if he transmits that information to the deputy governor, he will have to obey because he is still his boss, even though he does not have the power.
Right. Right. And okay, so when you look at the implications, positive and otherwise, especially with the climate of fear, the impact on businesses and all that, what do you think, these players, are missing? Because after all, that was the reason for the president's intervention. But with us observers yet to get, the president has spoken, he has waded in the crisis and, resolutions were supposedly reached, but here we are. What are the, long-term implications, that will not border well for the state if care is not taken?
The implication has already started. I mean, for about 3 months, they have not had a state executive council. When they having the federal executive council meeting, Ondo State is not being duly represented. I mean, it is the myriad of implication is very vast. The state governor should be the one going outside the country, trying to get investment to the states, trying to look for ways to move businesses over and all of that. This is not being done. The people's job is being ignored. The people's job is being ignored, and that is very bad. It's not even in this critical time. This critical time where we are going through transformational changes. The president wants to rejig the security infrastructure, which might mean shifting more responsibilities to the states. We are talking of security and fear. The hoodlums are beating commissioner in a state. Come on, this is not Federal Republic of Bananas. This is Federal Republic of Nigeria, for crying out loud. So, I mean, this should not be happening. If there was a leader, if there was an image of a leader, not even just a leader, if there was an image of a leader, all these, shenanigans will not be occurring. I want to just tell my fathers and mothers in Ondo State to please grow up and do the job that you have been sent to do by the people. It is a government of the people, by the people, for the people, not of the politicians, by the politicians, for the politicians. They are not there on their own accord. The people sent them there to work for them. So there is a job description. They should try and deliver. The job description does not include infighting amongst each other. I mean, I will give a story of a cabinet issue that I saw Patutomi talk about. He spoke about how the president's former deputy governor, Kufrola Akerino's job was, being very unruly during a retreat in England. And the president just let her say what she wanted to say and then continued the coordination of the meeting and left. That it was the female cabinet members that came and excoriated her for how she was addressing the president. I mean, the governor then. That is civility. That is people who care more about the job they are sent by the people to do than their own personal ego or interest. The president would have felt, annoyed by what the deputy was doing, but he didn't respond because he is not as important in his own perspective, from his own thinking. He does not consider himself as important as the people he is there to serve. So he put that over whatever is going on. and he conducted the affairs of Lagos. That is why Lagos is the success it is today. The Lagos economy is more than ×4 of the next economy in Nigeria. That is why Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a success today. So we need that kind of quality leadership, that puts his head in the right place. That is what we need in Ondo State, not this infighting, secondary school playground bullying that is going on.
Okay, so you have consistently mentioned the people at the heart of all of this. What should be the role of the people in addressing these issues?
The people have a big role to play, but really, I can't blame the people or ask them to do more because the people are struggling. The people are struggling to survive. They are struggling just getting by. Just the time to even look for food to put in their mouth. They are struggling because the leadership is not there. They are fighting over. I mean, I think the Commissioner of Women Affairs there's a viral video of her being beaten in Arigidi Akoko over rice. Do you understand? So the people, it is a people who you have to be fed for you to fight. You have to be fed for you to, demand something. If you have been pummeled to almost pop, which is what is going on in the state right now, sometimes you have even a bit of apathy. You can't really push. So that is why we need a leadership that is interested in elevating the people. When the people have a lot more in their pockets, in their stomach, then they will start asking, we need our governor, we need our... The people are already nice. The people are not asking, they have not even heard of anybody asking Governor Akeredolu to be impeached or for the section 189 of the Constitution, which spoke about medical incapability to be invoked or something. They just want leadership. There is a deputy governor. He was on the ticket. When they voted for the Governor Akeredolu, they voted for that deputy governor too. That deputy governor not being on the ticket, Governor Akeredolu would not have been considered duly elected. That is what is in the Constitution. So why can't they just let the man carry on? I don't know Governor Ayedatiwa. I mean, Deputy Governor Ayedatiwa. I have never ever met him. Exactly. I have never met him before. I don't know him. But it is just propriety. This is just basic. It should be the baseline. Whatever acting governor powers that he will be having will not be absolute. He can be checkmated. If he dissolves the executive council or whatever, he will not be able to appoint another one because the National Assembly will not approve it. So what are we talking about? So I mean, they need to start. I mean, we need more intellectual leadership in the state. That is what I can say.
Dr. Oludare Maridoti, the convener of the Social Rehabilitation, Grace and Support Initiative, joining us from the U.S. We thank you very much. It's good to know that you're still, keeping to your roots back home and, very, very cheering to note. Thank you again for your time with us.
Thanks a lot.